Assalamualaikum and hi. We the members of Group 5 STK 3552 Section 4 School Chemical and Energy Engineering UTM Skudai would like to present about the hazard identification, risk assessment and risk control. The purpose of this video is to fulfill requirement assignment 3 for subject Occupational Safety and Health in Industry. Our group consists of 4 members which are Siti Sarah, Aina Natasha, Nur Amirah and Muhammad Ariff, and we will present according to the order of the name.
This video is for learning experience purpose and not meant for industry practicing.
On 15 January 2016, a chemical explosion in Brazil's largest port released toxic gas, forcing the evacuation of one terminal as well as surrounding residents. It's been reported that 16 containers have caught fire. Due to the toxic gas that was released into the ports as a result of the accident, 66 individuals were brought to a local hospital with breathing problems. According to the company, owners that was operated by Luca Fraio, a logistic company in Guarujá, the containers in Santos were filled with chlorine and sodium dichlorosylcenerate that came into contact with rainwater and caused a reaction. Firefighters said rainwater had seeped into the containers causing a chemical reaction. However, it took 300 firefighters and 2 days to settle down the fire since the fire spread rapidly from one container to another container.
Next, we move to the introduction to HIRARC. There are 3 steps, which are hazard identification, risk assessment, and risk control. So we will look at the hazard identification first, observing unsafe condition and unsafe act, conduct surveys, audits, and inspections, and do job safety analysis. So for the second step, which is risk assessment, a measurement to identify how severe and where likely of the hazard, to specify situation and other harmful activities at the workplace. So here is the table for risk assessment matrix. Here is the indication of risk level table, and we will move to the last part, which is risk control. It is the elimination of hazard in a manner, and the hazard should be controlled at their source where the problem is created. So this is the table for control measure matrix. And lastly, we will look at the hierarchy of control. There are 5 layers here. The first one is elimination, which is we can physically remove the hazard. Substitutions, we can replace the hazard. Engineering controls, we can isolate people from hazard. Administrative controls, we can change the way people work. And lastly, PPE, where we can protect the worker with PPE. So next, I'll pass to my friend.
Process of HIRARC require 4 simple steps, which are to classify work activity, identify hazard, conduct risk assessment, and have to decide if the risk is tolerable and apply control measure is necessary. Classify work activities in according with their similarity, such as geographical or physical areas within or outside premise, stage in production or service process, and others. The purpose of hazard identification is to highlight the critical operation of tasks that is posing significant risk to the health and safety employees. Preparing a risk control action plan is the 4th step. The hazard should be controlled at their source where the problem is created. The closer a control to the source of hazard is better. Then the 3rd step is risk assessment. Risk is the determination of likelihood and severity of the credible accident and event sequence in order to determine magnitude and to prioritize identify hazard. Table C is an example of a risk matrix. Risk level is given in the box where the row and column meet. Hazard assessed as high risk must have immediate action to resolve risk to life safety and or the environment.
So the next one is HIRARC Form. It is used to identify potential hazard in a company and to assess probability of an accident or any financial losses. So if a HIRARC Form is being made as too detailed, and when implemented, it could cause us much more work than usual. But if it's not implemented carefully, it will only become not useful for us. So in a HIRARC form, there are a few key assessments. The first one is the area, task, or hazard. So in our case, away from the packed residential area. So the next one is energy, which is the type of energy that is related to the hazard. In our case, it is chemical energy because the factory is dealing with acid. And third is unsafe condition, which permits occurrence of an accident. For example, the barrel that is being used to store the acid is being placed at an open area without any cover. And the fourth is unsafe act, a violation of safe procedure. For example, if either the staff are using the correct PPE or equipment when transferring the acid, and so on. The fifth one is likelihood and consequences, which is the likelihood of an accident to occur and what is the effect. This can be quantified as explained by my roommate before. The next one is risk matrix. Risk rating for the risks that have been identified also can be quantified. And then the next one is control measure. Control measure is where we propose a suitable solution to eliminate the hazard safely. We have a hierarchy of the control measure. The first one is elimination, followed by substitution, engineering control, administrative control, and the last but not least, PPE. And the last but not least of the key assessment is the critical issues. which is the any requirement that are crucial for safety or the organization. For example, if the company should have a proper ventilation in order to avoid from the acid odor that being reacted with the acid that are available in the factory's environment. Okay, not to mention, our control measure have its own effectiveness. So based on this graph, the higher the risk level, so we should prioritize the one that are on the top of the hierarchy, which is elimination. So as the risk goes down, we can go down the hierarchy even more. As the same as before, firstly elimination, substitution, and then followed by the others. So that is all from us. Thank you.